I order all my hair stuff from Sephora, and this time they randomly sent me a highlighter sample. Well, when in Rome. Wait, is this the right tweet? This doesn't have anything to do with Dear David. It is. Okay then, roll the intro then. Adam Ellis is a moron. Late last year, I made a video covering the Twitter of now former BuzzFeed artist Adam Ellis and his tale of a ghost boy haunting him. In the video, I expressed the opinion that this story was just that, a story, and that Adam Ellis was making it all up. For entertainment or for views, who's to say? If you guys haven't seen that video, there should be a pop-up to take you to it, but if you're a rational person who has already read the story, chances are you've come to the same or a similar conclusion as I have anyway. Since my video, there were a few updates to the story, but before I get into that, I would like to say that this video is going to have a tone differing from my other Strange Stories videos. I'm not really going to be focusing on something that is scary. Well, not anymore at least. So I'm going to be handling it in a more casual way. This really isn't so much about showcasing the continuation of the Dear David story, but about how it was ruined. So I'll just be brushing on the story updates from where I left off. From here on out, I'm not going to be treating the story like it's fact. It's pretty obviously not. It's going to be handled like any other work of fiction. At the end of the last video, Adam had captured pictures of David in which he looked like a stuffed doll. While I was making the video, he released another update about his attic where he was hearing some weird noise. He ventured up there and found a shoe and a marble, but not just any marble, a spooky marble or something. The following update saw the return of the David doll, watching Adam in his sleep before investigating the camera that was taking pictures of him. Next, Adam goes on a trip back home to Montana. He mentions he doesn't believe that David has followed him until he sees a strange figure in the snow. When he goes to investigate, he finds a trail leading off into the trees. When he goes back home to New York, he is jolted awake by a pressure crashing on his chest. Then he uploads this photo.
And his name is John C.
This is what I would consider the climax of the story. For the months and months, we've had nothing but build up. Oh, and build up it has been. Weird dreams, strange calf videos, odd pictures of a fucking doll that's been stalking him. It's been a steady rise in the tension, and this is the moment where it all pays off. This is the one bit I'll read out. Sorry for the long delay. Honestly, I wasn't sure if I was going to tweet again. Thread. After what happened a couple weeks ago, everything stopped. Well, sort of. I wasn't having dreams anymore, and I was feeling better. I was sleeping through the night again. Actually, I was feeling great. I still do, but things have been sort of weird too. It's hard to explain. I'll try, but I don't know if any of it makes sense. Basically, as good as things have been for the past couple weeks, I can't shake the feeling that something is off. Like I've been sleeping fine and I have lots of energy during the day, but sometimes I seem to sort of lose time, I guess. Like, I'll look up at the clock and realize a whole hour has gone by and I don't remember any of it. Or I'll mishear someone and ask them to repeat what they said, but they'll say they didn't say anything. Little stuff like that. But after what I've been through, that's not a big deal. Despite all that, I felt ready to put it all behind me. So on Sunday, I opened Twitter, intending to update you all that it was over. Or at least I thought so. I just want things to go back to the way they were, and it seemed like they had. I was writing something to the effect when I noticed I had way more notifications than usual. I swiped my mentions and saw that everyone was tweeting to me about something I'd posted to my Instagram story the day before, saying they saw something weird. The stories are expired now, but I have screenshots, and I don't know how to explain it. Long story short, I went to brunch on Saturday with a friend. I posted a few photos to my story, and they were fairly unremarkable. Here's the first two I posted. Totally dumb and normal. They're totally boring brunch photos. I posted one more photo of me and my friend before leaving, and that was that. But the next day I had a zillion messages about the third photo I posted. People had taken screenshots and sent them to me. This is what somehow got uploaded to my Instagram story. I have no clue what happened. It looked perfectly fine on my phone when I uploaded it. I'd say it was just a glitch, but I can't make sense of what's happening with my face. Maybe I can. I know what it looks like, what it probably is, but I don't know if I care anymore. I really just want things to be normal again, and things feel normal enough right now. I don't know. I guess I'll keep you updated if something else happens. This was a nice, subtle bit of horror, and something that worked extremely well in context to the story. Well, aside from all that David doll business, there had been so much build-up that this was a great payoff. After all the crappy practical effect David doll, we get this strange, ghostly face merged with a photo of Adam. David had finally possessed him. At least that's what most people believed. After months of getting closer and closer, growing in strength and proportion, Adam had finally succumbed to the entity, and the thing his fans had been warning him about had happened. The proper payoff to a haunting story. After this, Adam's posts are few and far between. They're simple little things. Short posts saying, "I am fine," or unexplained videos of Adam's cats pawing at the door. It's out of character. Differing from how Adam had established himself, David was now in control of the account. During this time, he quits his job at BuzzFeed, but still shares weird cat videos. But then, stops. For everyone asking if I'm alive, I'm doing okay. It's been pretty quiet around here lately, and I've been trying to focus on work. Of course I'll keep you updated if anything strange happens, but for now I'm staying busy with drawing and other projects. Peace emoji. Fine. But Adam, you'd established that you were possessed. You can't be fine without some sort of cleansing, purging the spirit from you. David isn't just going to go away without you untangling him from you. Some of his followers reacted with the traditional, "Nice try, David," believing this was just another of the spirit's tricks. It wasn't, however. Shortly after posting this, Adam Ellis begins to post like Adam Ellis again. And not the "I'm being haunted by a boy's ghost" Adam Ellis. It's more like, "I make hashtag relatable comics for BuzzFeed" Adam Ellis. He begins posting comics again, lighthearted pictures of himself, and gets overly defensive if anyone asks about David, which everyone does, of course. At this point, Adam Ellis has over 1 million followers. Before the David posts, he had 70,000. That means almost all 1 million of his followers came to read posts about David. Of course, some of them are outraged when you completely throw the story away with absolutely no conclusion. Now, I sympathize with Adam Ellis from this perspective. He built his entire social media following around a spooky story that he may or may not have been invested in. But when said story gains you that much attention, you do have some sort of obligation to see it through, and to be honest with your fans. It's very unfair to his followers to lead them on the way he is. They might not care for his type of humor or his political views, anything he posts. Had he never phased any of that out during the timeline of the David story, had he kept a balance between Adam Ellis the illustrator and Adam Ellis the dude haunted by Dear David, the transition may not have been so jarring. Let me give you an example. I am subscribed to Shane Dawson because I enjoy his conspiracy theory videos. I do not like vlogs or whatever else it is that he does. If he were to stop uploading conspiracy theory videos, I would unsubscribe because I would have nothing else keeping me on that channel. When there are no more Dear David posts on Adam Ellis's Twitter, then none of the followers are going to want to stay. Adam, of course, says he doesn't care, but I highly doubt that is true. The thing is, Adam hasn't ended the Dear David series. Not officially, at least. He just left it on a hiatus so that he can focus on his art and poorly researched left-wing opinions without people unfollowing him because the series is over. But people are so outraged because he left them on read. The Dear David story thus far has had the traditional 3-act layout that's popular in normal novels and movies. Act 1 started when he made the first post about his David dream. It consisted of slow burn build-up, uncertainty of what was really going on. There was no real proof that there was any actual haunting at this time, just strange feelings and coincidence. Act 1 was the sensible time of the story, but it ended and Act 2 began in August when Adam bought a nanny cam and began to capture strange poltergeist. Act 2 was when proof of David's reality became tangible and not just idea. There was evidence, not speculation. It was also the insane part of the story. The doll photos began here. It was a sharp escalation of tension and fear. By the end, we knew exactly what was happening. Act 3 started with Adam's trip back to his home state. It shifted the tone into a finality and heralded in the true climax, which was the revelation that David had officially possessed Adam. Then the wind down, consisting of the I'm fine and weird cat video posts. This was to hammer in that something wasn't fine, and that the Adam we knew was gone. However, all of that was ruined when there was absolutely no true conclusion. Because Adam didn't want to lose his followers that followed only for the Dear David story, which was most of them, he never officially ended it. That way, they would stay following, just in case there might be some other David post. But this was the wrong way to handle it, because maybe your followers are smarter than you give them credit for. It would be like going to see a movie, but at the end of the movie, instead of the credits rolling, the camera just stays on the actors going about mundane and uninteresting lives. Do you think people are going to stick around to see who the key grip was after watching John Travolta eat omelets and nap on a sofa for 3 hours? No! That movie gets 2% on Rotten Tomatoes! What Adam Ellis should have done is come up with a proper ending to the story. Instead of just breaking from the established plot and going back to normal, he should have found a good way to close it. Then he needed to explain to his followers that the story was a work of fiction. At this point, most people know that it's not real, but stuck around because it was so good and so immersive. Well, until Act 2. Maybe they would have liked his comics or other work after David was finished. He may have found a whole new whip of fans. At the very least, he entertained millions of people for a time and gained positive recognition for horror mastery. Some people might have stuck around just to see what he came up with next. Or just maybe you gained their respect during the time and they're still following you because they want to see what else you have to say. But that can't happen the way you handled it. Your 1 million followers aren't your followers. They're David's. And now that he's been fired, and you've done nothing to win them over, nothing is going to keep them around. And that's why, Adam Ellis, you're a moron.